A year consumed by COVID saw many pressing forward with life despite the pandemic.
Rob Krieger looks back on 2020 and how the community dealt with the virus.
This year, the silence was often deafening. But through it rang reminders of what makes us so special as we walked into an unknown reality, watching the world we knew close around us.
What do you do when your whole life is pulled out from underneath you? How do you handle that? Everything you take for granted is maybe not there anymore.
Chef Frank Brightson knew it would take a community that had been through the worst before, but this time, there was no end to the storm in sight.
I want my life back. I want my normal life back. I don't like this kind of adventure. I like normal, boring, good days where we go to work, make people happy, and go home. That's what I want, and we're gonna get there.
Let me do a test with this color first.
The first steps, finding the color in a quarter stained by silence.
When I first came around the French Quarter and I saw all the plywoods, I was just like, this is not New Orleans. This is not the place we all love.
Armed with a passion for New Orleans, artists from all over covered the quarter with life.
It basically signifies, like, you know, even if you've gone through a hard time, like, you can still come out of it, you know, so a heart of stone can still bloom.
As the hue painted hope even in the quietest times, we found the sounds that make us whole. The fairground emptied, Jazz Fest canceled, but the music was there and everywhere. As we fested from afar, a few restaurants found a way to feed an industry that feeds our culture.
It's a huge percentage of the community. Like, the restaurant business is basically the lifeblood of New Orleans. So, you know, we know a ton of friends that weren't as fortunate as us to be still cooking, but, you know, we just feel like this is a small thing that we can do to kind of ease the pain of, like, what everybody's going through.
A few months in, ready for the breather that is summer, that light at the end of the tunnel grew dim as we focused on a future that seemed to be slipping through our grasp. Promise of the next chapter helped us turn the page.
I'm really excited. You know, I finally graduated from high school and I get to go off to, you know, the next step of college. I can't wait to go.
Lusher High School found a way to celebrate a lifetime achievement, making that distance disappear, if only for a moment.
Man, I didn't really think it was gonna be all this, you know? When they said we were gonna drive around, I was like, oh, there's gonna be like a few people there, but no, there was a lot of people.
A community rallied, and while home had never been so close, as the celebrations waned, family never felt so far.
It's been tough. I mean, the last time I saw my mom was December of last year.
A need filled in doses that were sometimes too small, but always helped heal the soul.
I told him you were an inspiration to me because I've never heard you complain. I've never heard you go, oh, woe is me. When I'm having a bad day, I'm thinking of you.
Once the curtain was pulled and the restrictions keeping loved ones beyond arm's reach let us get closer, we learned how dark it got.
I mean, in the beginning with the virus, there were some people I really liked that didn't make it through the virus. And that was tough.
The desperation for touch, sometimes even tougher.
Well, if you can make something good out of something bad, that's all right.
But making something good out of the bad was often so hard. As festivals shriveled and events wiped off the board, there was still a prayer for something that's restored this city before.
Who dat? Who dat?
This time, through masks marked with fleur-de-lis, the black and gold filled an empty dome with spirit. A cheer of a few thousand carried loud, and something that was so familiar was back.
Screen, Kamara at the 15, turns up to 10, has space, walks into the end zone, touchdown, Alvin Kamara.
That strength stretched well beyond the boundaries of Poitras as slowly some people returned. The quiet streets, not so silent, as visitors strolled, guided by new rules,
and most importantly, frequently wash your hands.
Regulations, a new normal, and a desire to help a city recover.
We also got to keep our economy going, so we just came to grab a bite to eat and just kind of cruise around, take precautions. and we do keep our social distance from everybody, and just kind of support the local economy.
But even as rules relaxed, our traditions changed during a season when we craved to fill our appetite for family.
I'm in the very happy position of having 5 children, but only one of them lives here in New Orleans.
During Thanksgiving, our new speed of connecting bridged a gap of guidelines.
We're definitely going to be FaceTiming with family all day. We've got family in Colorado.
We have to schedule who's going to get me for dessert and who's going to get me for appetizers.
Traditions broken, but new ones formed. Our world more connected than ever, and for the first time in years, that new normal brought back a piece of the past, a celebration that would ensure the good tidings would roll.
It's brought a lot of joy. Yes, it has. It really has. That's what I said. It kind of makes it feel like we're normal again.
A return to a driving tour through City Park ushered in a holiday season that for once this year brought a fresh breath, a deep inhale for whatever comes next. In a year we're all ready to forget, but we'll always remember. Rob Krieger, Fox 8, Local First.